Welcome to Seoul Television News. My name is Angela Ekumadi. Headlines. Governor Francis Nwifuru charges couples to remain faithful in marital vow. Leadership tussle in Lagos State House of Assembly worsens. Donald Trump's attempt to shrink federal bureaucracy moves to Supreme Court. Little Master Lotachukwu Ogoro's son to the Special Assistant to the Governor and Chief Protocol Officer to wife of Governor Nwifuru, Mr. Henry Ogoro, has been named after the state governor, Chief Francis Nwifuru. The naming ceremony took place at Presidential Lodge Old Government House, Abakaliki, shortly after the baby was dedicated to God at Government House Chapel, Ochudo Centenary City, Abakaliki. Government House correspondent Osondo Nguta completes the report.
The state governor, Chief Francis Nwifuru, and namesake of the baby, who expressed delight over the gesture, noted that it was a profound show of appreciation and true honor, and described Mr. Ogoro as a serious-minded person who is always readily available to deliver on any assignment given to him. The governor emphasized that he is committed to providing the necessary assistance to ensure that the upbringing of young Francis is filled with opportunities for success, and promised to help the Ogoro's family have access to resources that would allow their son to excel in life.
That he named the son after me is not surprising to me. I am not surprised. And I must thank him for remembering that. And I also want to promise Harry, I am for good in your house. And you must benefit. I will never give you trouble in your house. And I want to promise Ebonians, your sacrifices is very enormous. Even with all our lapses and shortcomings, we are not seeing that. You believe in us, you keep on gingering us, you pray for us, and you keep on praying for us to succeed. By the grace of God Almighty, we will succeed, and all your aspiration and love will come to manifestation in Jesus' name.
The chairman of the occasion and the state APC chairman, Mr. Stanley Emea, as well as the Equal Local Government Council chairman, Mr. Sunday Nwankwo, congratulated the governor, attributed the gesture to governor's philanthropic strides, and enjoined parents of the baby to ensure his good upbringing.
Ebony will continue to celebrate you. You have done what nobody expected that will be seen in Ebony State today. Very many of us, the entire Ebony people, are happy associating with you. If Obola know the success story that is following you is going to follow this child.
I think it's a reflection of his level of acceptance in the entire state. A man who is touching lives. And sometimes it's difficult to think how else again to appreciate him than to regenerate inside his house by naming one of your own, and then the blood comes together.
The father of the child and special assistant to the governor on protocol, Mr. Henry Ogoro, expressed joy and appreciation, stating that naming their son Francis after the governor was a way to honor and appreciate the governor's love to his family, and promised to always do his best to ensure that his son grow up to embody the values of leadership and service that Governor Nwifuru represents.
I named my son after him out of love, because I don't know how to appreciate him for everything he has done for me and my family. And when this baby came into the world, I was very, very much happy. So the dream I had has started manifesting.
Earlier in a church service at Government House Chapel, Ochudo Centenary City, Abakaliki, whose homily was centered on virtues of faith, service, and integrity in an ever-changing world, the assistant chaplain of the chapel, Reverend Father Fidelis Eze, emphasized that those who endure humiliation, rejection, and denial of their rights for the sake of Christ would ultimately find their reward in heaven. The Reverend Father addressed the social economic disparities in the society, pointed out that it is God's design that not everyone would be wealthy or well-connected, stressing that those who have been blessed with prosperity and influence bear the responsibility to serve God and uplift their communities. Father Eze cautioned individuals who have acquired wealth through dishonest means, urging them to reconsider their path and seek redemption while they are still alive, as well as enjoined Christians to remain steadfast in their faith regardless of their social status, economic struggle, or political challenges. Osondo Nguta, Salt TV News.
It was a heartwarming celebration of love and unity as former Miss Justina Obiora was happily joined to her heartthrob, Mr. Japhet Nwifuru, in a holy wedlock at St. Patrick Catholic Church, Miri Abakaliki. The groom, Mr. Japhet Nwifuru, is a cousin to the state governor, Chief Francis Nwifuru. Government House correspondent Osondo Nguta completes the story.
Governor Nwifuru, who was accompanied to the wedding reception at Rimeritona Hotel and Event Center, Abakaliki, by top government officials, alongside his family members, friends, and well-wishers, all gathered to celebrate the union of the couple who have captured the hearts of many. The governor, who shared heartfelt words of wisdom with the newlyweds, charged them to remain faithful to each other, emphasizing the importance of trust and loyalty in a successful wedding, and enjoined them to always communicate openly with each other and avoid allowing outside influences to disrupt their bond. He highlighted the significance of making God the cornerstone of their relationship and urged them to always allow their faith guide them through, both in joyful and challenging times.
Here to witness this event. It gladdens my heart that the wife agreed to marry Japhet. And also I'm very excited that Japhet agreed to marry the wife, because he's a very selective person. We're really indebted to all of you, especially the members of the State Executive Council and other friends of the states that are here. This year's sacrifices, this year's support can never be taken for granted. I want to sincerely thank the family of our wife for giving your daughter's hand to us. We really appreciate. Leave your daughter in our hands. So I want to assure you that we'll take care of your daughter, as your daughter is also going to take care of us.
The chairman of the occasion and chairman, Development Center Coordinators Forum in the state, Mr. Chidi Ogbonna, charged the couple to abide strictly by the tenets of marriage as an ordinance of God and prayed God to bless the union. Parents of the bride, Chief Godwin and Mrs. Cordelia Obiora, expressed joy over the union and wished them a lifetime of love, happiness, and divine blessing as they navigate the marital journey.
One of the greatest things I have enjoyed. I pray that God will give them long life and prosperity, give their children as God wishes. Let them train them, and they also train them as when they are home. That's what
I wish my daughter and my in-law long life and prosperity.
The couple, Mr. Japhet and Mrs. Justina Nwifuru, expressed gratitude for the overwhelming love and support they received on their special day, thanked God for a dream come true, and expressed excitement over the new chapter they are savoring together.
Today I'm grateful because of the very big day meeting my wife, Justina. I'm married from Anambra, and it's because of joy and the happiness and love that she gives me. She always gives to warrant me to marry her. Take good care of her, everything that she required from me.
I'm happy, first of all, and seeing that I will be a good wife. And I will also respect her.
The celebration was filled with joyful music and dancing as family and friends raised a toast to the couple's future happiness. Osondo Nguta, Salt TV News.
The wife of the state governor, Mrs. Uzamaka Nwifuru, has inaugurated a center of excellence in eye research, training, and patient care at the David Umahi Federal University of Health Sciences, Uburu. Mrs. Nwifuru made the inauguration at the ultra-modern edifice built at the university complex, charging them to take proper care of eye deficiencies of the rural populace. Government House correspondent Pauline Wanerenwe has details.
The pet project of the wife of the governor, Better Health for Rural Women, Children and Internally Displaced Persons Foundation, BEWO, in collaboration with the David Umahi Federal University of Health Sciences, UBRU, through the Multipurpose Eye Center, enhance accessibility to eye care services, increase awareness about regular eye examinations, and provide affordable eye care solutions for individuals, especially the rural dwellers. Commending the foresight of the Minister for Works, Senator David Umahi, and the State Governor, Chief Francis Nwifuru, over the creation of laudable projects to improve the livelihood of Ebonyi people, Mrs. Nwifuru promised that the present administration would work towards eradication of poverty, hunger, while taking health care and education with utmost seriousness.
Healthcare is the bedrock of any striving society, and the access to quality eye care remains a fundamental right that should be available to all, regardless of our social or economic status. Today, BEWO Foundation and David Umahi Investing takes an important step in ensuring that no one in Ebonyi State suffers from avoidably blindness or visual impairment due to lack of proper and medical attention.
The Vice Chancellor, David Umahi Federal University of Health Sciences, UBRU, Professor Jesse Uneke, while taking Mrs. Nwifuru round the health edifice, promised to partner her foundation to give people the best health care delivery services. Professor Uneke said that the purpose of the eye center would be to research, train medical students, establish mobile eye care units, community outreach, and treatment.
Research and development in eye diseases. In addition to excellent eye care services, the Dufus Eye Center will integrate scientific theory and practice in the management of people with eye diseases. The center will undertake cutting-edge research into eye diseases with latest technologies and advanced evidence-based practice.
Others, including Pro-Chancellor Dr. Adebayo Shitu, the Provost, College of Medicine, Mrs. Esther Juluchukwu, former Commissioner for Health, Dr. Daniel Mezurike, and Eze Godwin Okoro, called on Nigerians to visit Dufus for quality medical treatment and education.
It has been my burning desire, having seen the wonderful and unequal services being provided or potentially being provided by this university. It had been my ambition or aspiration to ensure that the Nigerian press is brought here for the purpose of ensuring that these universities and its benefits are not reserved for people of the Southeast alone.
Global achiever, Desoneke, we are very delighted to have all these things and the centers of excellence. You are all welcome, and we invite you for further commissioning.
People were encouraged to come out en masse to embrace the university's outreach to be held in March this year. Pauline Nwanerienwe, Salt TV News.
Stakeholders, religious leaders, and traditional rulers have been charged to sensitize rural communities on the need to accept vaccination against dreaded diseases. The wife of the state governor, Mrs. Uzamaka Nwifuru, gave the charge during the road walk and sensitization program organized by her foundation, BEWO, and development partners against measles and rubella held at Women Development Center, Abakaliki. Government House correspondent, again, Pauline Nwanerienwe, is our guide.
Due to the negative reactions by the rural populace whenever health workers visit to immunize children over some deadly diseases, a road walk and sensitization program against measles and rubella was organized to intimate stakeholders, media, religious leaders, traditional rulers, and other community representatives on the importance of embracing vaccination. The wife of the governor, Mrs. Uzamaka Nwifuru, appreciated health workers for their dedication to the healthcare delivery services to humanity and urged them to carry on such good works with professionalism and compassion. Mrs. Nwifuru urged parents and caregivers to bring out their children between the ages of 9 to 15 months to embrace the forthcoming immunization to reduce the effects of measles and rubella complications.
It is a deep sense of responsibility that I stand here with you today to officially flag off the measles and rubella vaccine campaign in Ebonyi State. This event marks yet another important step in our commitment to ensuring the health and well-being of our children, who are the futures of our state. Measles and rubella remain serious public health threats, causing several complications such as blindness, brain infections, and even death.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Moses Ekuma, and his Women Affairs counterpart, Mrs. Felicia Nwankuma, described measles and rubella as deadly and promised to provide mass immunization for every eligible child in the state by October this year.
There will be mass vaccination against measles and rubella for the children within the ages of 9 months to 15 months.
We are here to support the governor of Ebonyi State and the wife, Chief Mrs. Mary Modern Samaka. She's doing everything to make sure that the children of Ebonyi have the best health. What are these best health? Vaccination about measles.
Others including the President, Medical Women Association, Dr. Lillian Mwobas, Secretary, Primary Health Care, Dr. Emeka Ovoba, and the leader Bewo Foundation, Professor Nkechi Echago, spoke on the symptoms of measles and rubella as fever as well as body rashes, and advised rural dwellers to stop chasing away health personnel that would soon be deployed to various communities for free and safe applications of vaccines.
All the 36 states and FCT, through the wives of the governors of those states, and our own, has said you must do it again and take first position as usual.
And vaccine is absolutely important. It's a lifesaver.
Pauline Wanerienwe, Salt TV News.
People, especially rat hunters, have been called upon to stop bush burning to avoid destroying people's property and economic trees. The call was made at Ohatekwe, Agalegui Sheke, Ebonyi local government area. EBBC reporter Gabriel Eze visited Mr. Paul Ajibo's residence, whose house and property was gutted by fire as a result of bush burning.
Mr. Paul Ajibo, a lawyer and a retired civil servant, and his wife, who said the fire started around 5 o'clock in the evening when they were all out for their businesses, lamented seriously that the fire had claimed their life's achievement within a twinkling of an eye. They said they packed out all their property and personal effects from their new house to the old one for renovation, where the fire engulfed his wig, books, clothing, mattresses, bags of rice, yams, school living certificate, senior secondary school certificate, and community health worker certificate, all belonging to the wife, and lot more. They appeal to governments, concerned agencies, and good-spirited individuals to come to their aid, since the fire had left them empty-handed.
My books I started storing since 1980s till date. My yams, rice stored, cooking utensils. In fact, everything I had, my wig and gown. I appeal that good-spirited individuals and government or organizations should come to my aid. They should come and help me. There's nothing now I can do. I'm paralyzed.
Fire outbreak that destroyed all our properties. The worst one is my original certificate. That is the worst thing that happened to me. A request from the government is for them to help me. If there's any help they can render to me to help my family, so I will appreciate.
On their parts, those who witnessed the fire incident, including Mrs. Blessing Gabriel and Mr. Moses Ogbonna, who ran to the scene before the arrival of the owner of the house, stated that they started seeing ashes falling at their compounds and began to query themselves where it was coming from, only to discover it was from that compound, and then shouted for people to help in quenching the fire, which they did. But before then, the house and property had already been razed down, even their barn.
I was actually at my house washing clothes. I noticed some drop of charcoals in the clothes I was washing. So I was like, where is this fire coming from? Lo and behold, when I looked up, I noticed that smoke was coming from my back. Before we got here, we realized that almost this place has already been caught with fire.
They called on people to desist from bush burning since the fire outbreak came from the bushes around the premises. Gabriel Eze, Salt TV News.
You're still watching Seoul Television News. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us. You're welcome back. The leadership tussle in the Lagos State House of Assembly took a new twist with heavy security presence at the premises during a plenary session. Security vans and personnel were spotted in and outside the premises of the Lagos Assembly Complex in the Alausa area of the commercial city. The report.
Ahead of the plenary, security personnel manned various roads leading to the Lagos Assembly Complex. There was a mid-drama when some of the security agents tried to gain access to the assembly chambers, which delayed the plenary for some hours. But an official of the Lagos Assembly later told the newsmen that the Speaker, Mojisola Merenda, and 32 members of the lawmaking body are present for Monday's plenary.
The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has sealed over 3,000 shops within the Idumota open drug market in Lagos in the first week of operations. The agency stated that during the raid, officials uncovered alarming violations, including vaccines stored in dilapidated, unventilated rooms sealed with iron sheets, posing severe health risk. The report.
Large consignments of banned and dangerous drugs were also discovered, including anagin injections, diverted HIV antiretroviral drugs, and expired medicines slated for illegal revalidation. They also evacuated illicit pharmaceuticals equivalent to 12 truckloads, empty packs, and cartons of expired unregistered anti-malarial injections were discovered inside a packing shop. The vials were removed and various brands of codeine cough syrup and tramadol 125 were discovered in a warehouse within the market, away from the pharmaceutical section where other products are sold.
UK Special Forces Command rejected resettlement applications from more than 2,000 Afghan commandos who had shown credible evidence of service in units that fought alongside the SAS, SBS, SBC. The Ministry of Defense has confirmed for the first time. UK Special Forces officers appear to have rejected every application from a former Afghan commando referred to them for sponsorship, despite the Afghan units having fought with the British on life-threatening missions against the Taliban. The report.
The Ministry of Defense had previously denied there was a blanket policy to reject members of the units, known as the Triples, but media has not been able to find any evidence that UK Special Forces supported any resettlement applications. Asked if UK Special Forces had supported any applications, the Ministry of Defense declined to answer the question. The Triples, so called because their designations were CF 333 and ATF 444, were set up, trained, and paid by the UK Special Forces and supported the SAS and SBS on operations in Afghanistan. When the country fell to the Taliban in 2021, they were judged to be in grave danger of reprisal and were entitled to apply for resettlement to the UK.
President Donald Trump's attempts to shrink the federal bureaucracy are heading to the Supreme Court, according to U.S. media. He has filed an emergency appeal to the country's highest court to rule on whether he can fire the leader of an independent whistleblowing agency. The report.
Head of the U.S. Office of Special Counsel, Hampton DeLinga, sued the Trump administration after he was fired by email this month. Trump has also sacked more than a dozen inspectors general at various federal agencies, along with the jobs of thousands of employees across the U.S. government. Mr. DeLinga, who was nominated by Joe Biden, the former president, argues that his removal broke a law that protects leaders of independent agencies from being fired by the president, except in cases of neglect of duty or inefficiency. A federal judge in Washington, D.C., issued a temporary order on Wednesday allowing Mr. DeLinga to hold on to his position while the case is being considered.
Here's the recap of our major stories. Governor Francis Nwifuru has urged married couples to remain faithful to each other and allow love to lubricate their marital bond. Leadership tussle in Lagos State House of Assembly took a new twist with heavy security presence at premises during a plenary session. Donald Trump's attempts to shrink the federal bureaucracy are heading to the Supreme Court, according to U.S. media. And that's the news. Many thanks for watching. My name is Angela Ekuma.